I had 2 strokes before I started at Lead the Way. My doctor told me if anything that I could do for my life was movement. That was the most important thing. And I was like, I work in an office. I work at home now. And I would just sit down all day. Like lunchtime would come and I would just go get my lunch from the refrigerator and sit down. Like I would just sit down all day, all day, all day. I used to be afraid to live, to be honest. I've never kind of said that out loud, but I used to, after having a second stroke, I was always living in fear, like every day, like what if I have another one and what if I die and all of this. And that is like gone. I feel like I'm working on my health with my nutrition, the movement that my doctor said, that's invaluable. It's money can't pay for that.
It's time to lead the way. Let us show you how to reach your fitness goals once and for all. We aren't going to just show you the way. We are going to lead the way.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Coach Sal with the Lead the Way podcast. Today, I have my friend Andrea Goodman on with me. And again, this is going to be an awesome story, guys. As you know, our podcast is all about everyday people doing fitness the right way. And that's what Andrea is here to talk about, her journey. Andrea, say hello.
Hello, people. Hello.
Andrea, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Okay. I was born in Gary, Indiana, came with my parents at Florida, California, lived in Compton for like a year, and then moved to Pasadena for the first grade. Went to Madison Elementary, Altadena Elementary, Elliott Junior High School, Pasadena High School. So I'm a Pasadena girl. I'm a member of Tournament of Roses Committee. I love Pasadena. I had a mural put on my back wall that has Pasadena Tournament of Roses and City of Roses, roses all over my wall, graffiti wall.
Wow.
So I'm a Pasadena girl.
Pasadena. Yeah. Where you at? That's awesome. I went to HS for a little bit. I went to Pasadena High for a little bit.
Okay.
For a little bit, yeah. So I know exactly. I know that hood.
Right.
Okay, rock and roll. What was it like growing up for you? Were your parents into fitness? Were your parents into working out? Were they health freaks? Like, what was that about?
Yeah, no. Yeah, and it's really funny you asked that because the disparity between my parents and there was 3 girls, right? Okay. Older sister, younger sister, and I was the middle child. We grew up with my mother and father until high school, and then they separated. But my mom's sister, who lived down the street, she was married to a semi-pro golfer, and her kids and her husband, they were health fanatics back in the day. I'm 62, so I mean back in the day when that wasn't popular. They were I remember my uncle taking a mixer, a blender, and then had an egg in it and blended it up. And I remember he just held it up like this and then drank this egg mixture with vegetables. I thought that was the weirdest thing back then. We didn't know anything about it. Nobody was juicing, But so they were kind of different to us. Like we didn't understand it. They were eating salads and all this stuff, and they worked out. They were on teams and all of that stuff. And I just thought it was different, but had no interest because it wasn't introduced to me. So we just ate regular food. But my mom, I remember she used to cook turkey and stuff. So she wasn't like a big, like ham hocks and pork eater like that, So she was maybe semi-okay healthy, but not like today, like we're eating more vegetables and stuff like that. We always had vegetables. She made our meals, all our meals we ate together and all of that. But I was a chubby kid, probably starting at the age of around 9. And I remember having those, what do they call it, calisthenics or whatever. And I remember I used to hate it when that used to come around. Why didn't I practice a whole year? That wasn't even in my mindset. I wasn't encouraged to do it, didn't think about it. But I remember I used to run. I was in the middle for running, but everything else horrible. I remember I could only do 14 sit-ups when girls were doing 40 sit-ups. I was embarrassed, just anything athletic. I couldn't do a forward roll in gymnastics. I had very high grades all the time growing up, but I got a D in gymnastics. I never had a D in my life. And she said I wasn't trying, but I just couldn't do it. I just didn't have the ability. I just didn't know how to do it. Was afraid to try. I was good at swimming. That was the only thing I was good at.
Wow. Did you swim in high school then, or?
No, I had a swim class, and I remember my gym teacher saying, "Oh, do you want to be on the swim team?" But I was a musician since 3rd grade, so I was in the orchestra and the band. I was orchestra president, so I was into that, and I was shocked. You want me to be on a swim team? Like my mom because a lot of little Black kids didn't know how to swim. And she was adamant about that. So she used to take us to John Muir. We had swimming lessons and all that. So from little, we knew how to swim.
Wow. A raw egg and a vegetable mix in the blender. That's that old Rocky formula right there. That's old.
And
it's crazy.
This day, they still bike ride, go to the gym all the time, still eat healthy, eat, 5 fruits and vegetables serving. They're still like that to this day. They've never been overweight. They're thin. And the guy, my cousin's muscular. His sister, she runs marathons. They're still like that.
So the whole family said that. See, that's crazy. Cause I mean, like you said, for you were never exposed to that outside of them. And so for you, it was very awkward and weird. It was like, who does that? Like, nope. They were like the Martians, right? Like, who are these people? So, and then let me ask you this. At what point in your life did you say, I need to do something about my body because I don't like how I feel or I don't like where this is going?
Well, I've been on many weight loss journeys. So I started weight loss, I don't know what you call it, experiments before I got into working out. That was years later. Specifically, I think the first one I was on, I was 21. And I remember I weighed 210 pounds. So my weight, when I graduated high school, I was 200 pounds. So I've been 200 pounds for more, of my life, more than half my life, majority of my life, I should say. So I graduated 200 pounds. I think when I was 22, I was 210 pounds. I remember I lived in an apartment by myself on PCH in Long Beach, because I went to Long Beach State.
Okay.
And I wanted to lose weight. So I went on this thing called OptiFast. And I don't know if you remember that, but Oprah, when she had that big show and she pulled out this fat in a wagon, she went on OptiFast. So OptiFast was, I think it cost me $3,000, 22 years old at $3,000. It cost $3,000. I went to see a doctor who drew blood and all this stuff. And basically you just got these packets and you would just drink these packets every day, nothing else. I think I could have Jell-O. So my refrigerator was empty and all I had was sugar-free Jell-O, and I drank packets for, I don't remember how many months. Me and my girlfriend, we did it. And I remember we pigged out the day before we went on it. I mean, we pigged out. It was just rack of ribs and all this stuff. So anyway, I think I lost 40 pounds. I got down to 170 on that, right? And I felt really good. I still have the pants that I wore when I was 170. I remember I went to a Raiders game when they were out here. And I remember somebody said, "Whoa, look at her." And I was like, yes, I was 170. I'm in these black jeans, So anyway, I went on that. And then I moved to Oakland for 2 years with my girlfriend. And I gained everything back. I was bigger than 210 after, I mean, it must have been like 8 months. I think I gained it all back.
Wow.
And I just went to my, regular stuff, just eating whatever I ate. I had no education as far as, what I shouldn't eat or what. I mean, I knew in general, but, I really didn't. It wasn't kicking in, So then I went on Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers. I can't think of them all, but I don't think you can name one that I didn't go on. So I would always do this roller coaster thing. I would lose weight. And I remember telling my Weight Watchers coach, I would be the star student. I think I kind of told you when I started to lead the way, like I would be gung-ho. I'll buy the best shoes. I'll show up early for 2 weeks. And then after that, I'll be lose the most weight and all this. And then after that, I start flailing. And then it's just like, going back to old bad habits. So it's always this up and down. I didn't start working out until my sister passed away in 2009.
Okay.
She was 48 years old and she left us some money. So I think I won't say money, but it was a lot of money. Okay. And I remember it was under 100,000 though. So I remember taking $3,000 to 24-Hour Fitness and slapping it on the table. And Robert Crosby, but he was the manager in Altadena at that time. And then I said, I want to work out because my sister used to work out, the one that passed away. She used to work out. She was a vegetarian and all this. I said, my sister, she used to tell me, the one that passed away, I loved her with all my heart more than anybody on the earth. And she used to say, Andrea, you always have this struggle, but you never succeed at it. And I want you to succeed. I mean, she was my cheerleader. She really rooted for me, And so I thought my sister would want this. It almost makes me want to cry. And so I took $3,000 because I figured if I pay the money, I will go. That's me. If I pay the money, I'm going to go. So I paid and worked out with him for, it was 10 months. and I went to 28. And back then it was 3 for $99. I remember it was 3 sessions a week for $99. That's unheard of now at 24 hours. I said, I only want to work with you. And I worked out with I think he was the manager at the time. And then that was the first time I lost like a large amount of weight and was working out consistently. It was extremely hard for me. I remember he used to make me walk up those stairs that I joined before that gym was even built. But I remember I would walk up the stairs because he would make me do a little bit of cardio before I would start, doing weight training and stuff. And I just kind of hate that stuff. But he really got me thinking about, he would ask me, I remember when I would eat stuff and he would say, what did you eat today? Or how many calories did you eat? Or what, I would say, oh, I ate this. He goes, how do you know? And then I was thinking, I guess I don't know. And that was the first time I started logging food, because he would say, you don't know, you're just guessing.
Wow. If this is too personal, that's okay. But what did your sister pass from?
She had what was called Graves' disease. So she had an autoimmune disease. She lost a lot of hair, but I mean, she was a real kind of healthy person, but she didn't eat meat. And I don't know if that attributed, I mean, not really sure, but I talked to the coroner and I asked them, did she have a heart attack? And they said, no, her heart just stopped. She just was sitting in her den having a cup of tea and her heart just stopped. Wow. So I know heart things, and I don't really know a lot about Graves' disease, but I know it's autoimmune. So
you've been on this journey for some time, and wow, it's crazy. You brought up was it Optima or Optifast, and I think with people, and I'm sure the people who have experienced that same up and down that you have, that's typically what happens when you choose to use a diet program that is not consistent with what you do on a daily basis, meaning you do something drastic, like these drinks. All you did was drinks for however many months, or you do keto where you cut something completely out for however many months. That's not what you normally do. So then when you achieve your goal, you go back to what you normally do. Typically what ends up happening is you go back, and sometimes even more. Yeah. The reason is because what was never addressed was the lifestyle, the habits. That was never addressed. So you just go back to living the way you used to, and then, you get caught in this vicious cycle. You said something that I want to touch base on, because you said you would, and I remember the conversation too. You're like, I'm going to be your star. I will be there every day, rocking and rolling, hyped up. But then you said that typically you fade away after 2 to 3 weeks. That didn't happen here. Why didn't it happen here?
As of you, actually, for 2 reasons, I would say. Before I say you, I had an appointment. I am very methodical when it comes to money, monetary, and appointments. Like, people know me, I'm not late for an appointment. I don't miss appointments. And especially if I know I'm going to lose money and I don't have an appointment, that's not happening to Andrea. It's just not happening. So the fact that I have an appointment more than my 24-hour gym memberships that I've had in Altadena before that thing was built. I have been months and years without going to that thing and still paying every month. But I have an appointment at Lead the Way, semi-private sessions. So there's no way I'm going to miss an appointment. Like, I just knew that wasn't going to happen. So the fact that I have an appointment, I'm showing up for the appointment. And then secondly, I've had maybe 5 trainers in my life. And that was the first one I told you, at 24 Hour Fitness. And then I had him for 10 months. And then, that money ran out, and, just start being a regular member and didn't go and all that. But you, of every trainer, really care about me. Like, not just know my name, but of course, everybody kind of knows my name, but you check in on me all the time, and you meet the need. So I told you what I wasn't good at. And I remember I had a trainer just before you, if you remember, and he promised me things and he didn't keep the promise. So I went to train. I had an appointment, so I made the appointment. It was far away too. He taught me great techniques, but my weight thing, I wanted to do both. I wanted to be stronger and I wanted to lose weight. And then he would say, okay, I'm going to weigh you every couple weeks. But he never did it. I think he did it one time, so he wasn't consistent with it. And so you would follow up and you give me like sometimes more than I give myself. You'd be like, Andrea, what's going on? Because that's my tendency too. Like if I disappear, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And then you check in, like, I haven't heard from you. So just someone checking in who knows me. And even in the gym, like, I've been to classes, I'm in a camp transformation where I was injured all the time. I was at sports medicine doctor all the time, but I don't experience that because you'll know like, oh, how's your shoulder doing? Or how's your hip doing? Or how's your knee doing? Because, I've had knee issues, and then you modify without me even saying it because you already know. So to have a trainer who knows me and you've gotten to know like my habits and kind of my tendencies. So to have somebody checking in on that, I mean, I can't, that's invaluable. It's money can't pay for that.
You're right. I do care about you. I love you very much. I want to see you succeed. I remember the meeting we had. I saw the fire in your eyes and I saw the doubt too. You're like, I think I almost sensed it, like another trainer, let me see what this guy's about. And I just wanted to make sure that I delivered because I care about what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do and I want to see people win. That is my purpose in life, is to help and serve other people win the way that I've been winning. And so thank you for that, Andrea. It makes me feel very good about what I'm doing when you acknowledge that that's what's going on. And I'm grateful. And it's been fun working with you. It's been a lot of fun. It's been challenging. I'm going to tell you right now, Andrea has given as much as I have given her. I'm going to put it to you like that. But I'm going to tell you, iron sharpens iron. I want that. I want that in my life. I don't want to take on just the average Joe person all the time that I want people who are going to work hard, who are going to challenge me, make me want to be better. And so you do that. And I am grateful for you. I appreciate you for that. Andrea, recently we had a challenge called the California Cut Down Challenge. Andrea wasn't aware of it. It's in our semi-private groups. We're like she's saying, like, we're on it. You miss, you're gonna get a call. We're checking your nutrition. We're checking your weight. We're checking your results. We're on it. And so that's a challenge within itself. Like, that is hard work to get somebody to constantly be on you. Like, what's going on? No, let's do this. Let's do that. Our bigger community, the boot camp community, we do these challenges, or we do challenges for people coming outside who've never been a part of the gym so they could experience the gym. And so we did a California Cut Down Challenge. And typically, we don't tell the people from the semi-private. They already got enough on their plate. But Andrew's like, no, I want to do this challenge. We need to do it. And I was like, Andrew, what do you think? And so she literally built it out. She's like, we should do this. We could do this. We could do this. I said, done. And we put it together. And guess what?
A couple weeks.
Andrea won. Woo! And she won. So everything you heard her say about keeping her appointments, keeping herself focused, I mean, that is proof in the pudding right there. She made it happen. You lost, I think, almost 12 pounds, 11 pounds, right? In 4 weeks.
Yes.
And mind you, and please, Andrea, tell them what type of nutrition plan I have you on, because it's nothing like whatever that, I don't even like tell them.
Yeah, I remember when I was on alcohol, I used to go to bed early at like 7 o'clock because I'd be so hungry. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed. But anyway, the weird thing about it is you've had me eat like more calories than I used to eat. Sometimes when I'm bad, trail mix is it's the favorite food in the world to me. And I can go crazy on trail mix. So you can't lose weight if you're eating trail mix all the time, right? So, but other than my cheating days when, it's stupid sugar and stuff like that, you have me eating nutritional food. And on a side, I have to say this. I remember one time because I was, I show you my food all the time, pictures and logs and all this stuff. And I remember one day, and I was complaining to you and like, why are you having me eat this many calories? Like, I want to lose weight faster. And you're like, Andrea, that's not healthy. And so I showed you my log and you were like, okay, you ate the calories I told you to eat, but you put a bunch of sugar and stupid stuff in there. Like, what are you doing? And so sometimes I guess I would go back to my ways, because I still have my days. I'm not perfect. And I still, where I go to a party or do something where I'm eating bad food. but you've taught me to like increase the calorie intake, because sometimes my calories would be low and I still wouldn't be losing weight and I'd be really hungry. And you would know that. You look at the log and you go, Andrea, you're not eating enough. And I went through a lot with you, frustration, like, how can I wait and eat more food? What are you talking about, dude?
This was January. The month of January was a wrestling match between Andrea and I. It really was. She started with me, right? I think it was right before Thanksgiving. And so, you know, I focus a lot on the training in the beginning, and we started getting more and more deeper into nutrition. But came 2022, January, it was like back and forth. Andrea texts me every day, and we would talk every day, and she would be mad at me almost every day. It really was. But I appreciate that you still did it. You still went for it. And like nobody's perfect every day. Nobody's perfect any day. We're just trying to do our best. And that's what this podcast is about. People need to understand that it's okay. It's okay to, like you said, eat bad food. It's food. The whole thing of working out and training and focusing on health is to live a balanced, happy life. It's so that when you're 80, 90 years old, you're not on a cane, you're strong, you're healthy, you're mobile. That's what it's about. But you used to be able to enjoy your life throughout the way. And so doing stuff like that where you're going to bed hungry at 7 o'clock, that's miserable. Like, why would you do it? Drives me crazy. And this is where the fitness industry and honestly the health industry, because it is an industry and there's a lot of people out there that just want to make money, they will give you that quick fix. They will give you that fast track, and it will work, but you will be miserable doing it, and you will be miserable when you're done, because you're going to go back to where you were at. And I know it's hard. And again, that's why I say I appreciate you so much for listening to my advice, even though you were like, everything in your body was like, this is not the way, this is not going to work, but you trusted me and you did it. And you've been successful. You have been successful. The picture you sent me yesterday, I think it was, is that, I mean, you've since November.
Yeah, I started December the 10th with you. And I weighed like 246, and I'm down to like 233, I would say. I got down to 230 for the challenge, and then I had a family reunion. I've been gone and and all kind of stuff, but I didn't really, and I was shocked by that. Like I thought I was gonna gain 15 pounds. Every time I go on vacation, I gain 10 pounds, 12 pounds. Like it's just given. It's just gonna happen. And I went on the scale. I'm like 1.5 pounds. What just happened here? Like I couldn't believe it, and was drinking and eating nachos and all kind of stuff, chicken and waffles we had for brunch.
I gotta say why. I'm sorry, Andrea. I didn't mean to cut you off, because there's a couple things I want to hit, and I want people to hear this. So since we started training was late November, December. You said December 10th? Okay. Since that point, she's lost what? At the high point, she's lost 16 pounds. Okay, 16 pounds. And we're now in August. So that's 8 months here, or 7 full months plus December, 8 total months. She's lost 16 pounds. That means she's gone down 2 pounds per month. Okay. You got to hear that. Because I know some of you guys would be like, that's not a lot. And well, maybe it's not, but fat-wise, she has shrunk, she is skinnier, she's feeling that. But here's the other thing, Andrea, so like you said, there's 2 things that I want to hit. One is you were able to go off the wagon, per se, during your family reunion, and you gain 1.5 pounds, when typically you said you blow up to 15. The reason that is because the body and the metabolism you built during the time that we've been working. You've reset, you've fixed a lot of things that low calorie diets do to you. So then when you do go off the wagon, you blow up, you balloon up. That's what happens. That's exactly what we're talking about with those quick fix diets. Once you get out of there, you balloon. But if you're doing things consistently, properly, when you go off the wagon a little bit, you got room. Your metabolism is working for you, and that doesn't happen. That is a major win, Andrea. That is a major, you got to understand it. As you continue down this path, you're going to be able to go on your cruise ship vacations. You're going to be able to go on your family reunions, and you're not going to freak out by enjoying the time. That's what I'm saying, is you're supposed to be able to enjoy this, right? Yeah. And on the second note, in the time frame that Andrea has joined me and worked with us here at Lead the Way, there has been some amazing physical achievements that she's been able to do. And,
Yes.
and I want to talk about those, Andrea. So let's talk about what it was like coming in and what you were able to do when you first started. You come on, tell the crowd.
Yeah. Oh, I was with the trainer before, just before, but I was only going 1 day a week because he was in Long Beach. I used to do 4 hours a day, 4 hours on a Saturday, just to work out for 1 hour. Like, it was ridiculous. So I had, some technique and, some strength that I had gained. So I could do, kind of arm things. And I know we don't compare to other people, but of course you notice, because you tend to have, I've become friends with people in my class, like know them by name and familiar with what they can do and what I can do. And so I would notice, like, the arm stuff, I can hang, sit-ups and stuff I can hang. But the one thing that I couldn't do that everybody could do at one level or another were squats. I could not do not one squat, not a half a squat. I couldn't just do it at all. I mean, I would just dip like a couple inches. And that's all I could do when I started.
It was a struggle for you to get up off a chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would plop when I would sit down. I would just plop down. I didn't have any leg strength. And the funny part about that, this is a real weird part. I did not realize that my legs weren't strong. Of all of the trainers and everything that I did, no one ever told me that. It never came to me. I never realized that my legs weren't strong until, even when I started not doing squats, I didn't realize it until I started being able to do a squat. And the techniques, I don't know if you want to get into that now, of how I became to be able to do it. And then I started noticing just in regular life, like walking up, I have a few little stairs like in my front door. Well, I always hold on to the rail. I would just walk up without holding on. I remember how it felt for my knees and my thighs not to feel the weakness that I used to feel when I remember I went to a graduation of my cousin, and it was in this big stadium, and we were sitting down for hours. Of course, it was just this long ceremony. And when I got up, normally I would be really stiff, and then I had to hold on. And I remember getting up, and I just walked down those bleachers like it was nothing. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't realize what that took for my legs to be strong and what it meant just to live life.
It's like living life without a crutch.
Yes.
That is amazing. And please tell them the technique, because I if you're cool with it, I am. I love it.
So, Sal, he worked with me. I remember the people in the class, they would be, Andrea, you could do it. You could do it. You could do it. I'm the only one that couldn't do a squat. And you would always modify. Like, I'd have to every time squat. And then, we do a squat, and I'd roll my eyes, and then everybody kind of look at me, and Sal go, okay, Andrea, we got you. We got you. I'd get my little modified little thing in the corner. So I would do wall squats. I started with that. I couldn't even hardly do a wall squat. I was just like, and the first time that it was just a matter of building strength. And then what I did in addition to that, and this is the part that motivates me and that never kind of happened to me with the trainer, Sal, you make me want to do more even on my own. So I will go to the gym and do things at home because I want to go back and I want to do a squat and I want to do those things. And I don't know all of what you give me that makes that happen, but that's kind of never happened. Like, I've just been up and down, not consistent. And I go to check in because, they log in 24, or you can just go on your app. Yeah. Like, I go way more that I'm with Sal than I ever went like before on a consistent, regular basis. So I bought this little squat machine. My girlfriend who referred me here, she had one, and I think she said she wasn't using hers. So I found one on OfferUp. Those things are like $350. And so I went and got one on OfferUp for under $100. And so I went and got it. And so I started doing it at home because I just wanted to, and then that became my passion. I want to do a squat. I want to do a squat. And so I started doing those. I started doing wall squats. I started with that, what do you call that thing? The Stairmaster at the gym. I never would go on those things because I never could do it. And when I first went on, I could only do a minute. I was exhausted and like out of breath and sweating for a minute. And then I kept trying to increase it. And I remember one day I came and I was doing something more than I could. You said, you've been practicing at home, haven't you? And the day that I remember screaming, because I'm a pretty animated person in the classes. I dance in between all the stuff. But I remember, what do you call those things? Those little soft steps that you have us sit down on way low.
Oh, the boxes, the pile boxes. Yeah.
So I remember anytime we would do that, I could never like sit down on that thing. Like I just was the one, I had to do something else. So one day we were in the big room for a class, and so we had to sit on the box, the one that's lowest, sit on the box, and then stand up with a heavy ball in our hand. And I just looked at that thing like, okay, here we go again. It's just gonna get modified. And I remember sitting down on it, and I thought, here we go. And I stood up, and you filmed me. I didn't even know you were filming me. I was screaming like, oh my God. And all the class was like looking at me like, yeah, you did it. You know? Like I never could even sit on the box, let alone sit on it and get up. And I just kept progressing more and more with the strength of my legs to be able to do a squat and to be able to get off of that step and to sit up. And it's just been like, I've never seen the progress like I've seen at Lead the Way that ever. Like it's just been monumental for my leg strength. Even the knowledge to know that it was my leg, even getting out the tub, I'm like a lot better. Just normal sitting on the toilet, getting out of a chair. Like I sit in my office chair, I just sit down like just nicely and not just like pop. Yeah. So it's helped me just in life.
Well, I love every aspect of that. You've been doing phenomenal. And again, you have met me at every point. And so I'm grateful for that, for the trust. I'm so proud of you. I really am. I've seen you do some amazing things from beginning to end, and you are from beginning to now. And you've done it faster than a lot of people, to be honest. I think a lot of it has to do with your character, your determination to want to succeed. I think that the only reason I love it, I thank you for bringing that up, and that you want to do other things to win, because you know that we're looking for that. You know that we want you to do that, and it motivates you even more when you leave. That's the thing. One of our core values is win together. If you're not winning, I am failing. And so, just like you have those things that you just like, this is not going to happen. I have this. I will not fail. I will not fail. I'm going to die trying, but I will not fail. And so you put that much trust into me that I'm going to make sure that I meet you where you need to be. You're going to win, Andrea. You're going to win. We're going to see you succeed. I'm excited for what's to come. I really am, because I've been working with you and knowing you. I'm excited for what you're going to accomplish, because I know there's going to be a lot more big wins in your life coming in the future. And hey, if you still got those pants, hold on to them. I'm just saying, just hold on to them. Okay?
In my closet, but I said, I'm going to get in those pants one of these days.
Andrea, you said so many awesome things. Your life experiences, being where you've been through the ups and downs with the dieting, the ins and outs with so many different trainers. What would you tell somebody if they were in that same predicament, trainer after trainer, failure after failure, diet after diet, failure after failure? What would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
I'm to lead the way, but I'm serious, really, but never give up. And then find people who are supportive. That was like really key for me. I just want to add, I had 2 strokes before I started at Lead the Way. My doctor told me if anything that I could do for my life was movement. That was the most important thing. And I was like, I work in an office. I work at home now. And I would just sit down all day. Like lunchtime would come and I would just go get my lunch from the refrigerator to sit down. Like I would just sit down all day. And he said movement. So the fact that I have an appointment and it makes me move, that's like key to my health. I used to be afraid to live, to be honest. I've never kind of said that out loud, but I used to, after having a second stroke, I was always living in fear, like every day, like, what if I have another one? And what if I die and all of this? And that is like gone. Like, I feel like I'm working on my health with my nutrition, the movement that my doctor said. They have a list of things, like there's 8 things that you could have in your life that would bring on a stroke more than anything else. And all of those things are going away or being worked on. And so just me having the appointment and going is like imperative to my life. And I would just say, make an appointment with yourself, put it in a book. You got to move, just work out and being around supportive people. And for me, that's having an appointment and Lead the Way.
Thank you. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a little emotional because I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I very much love what I do. And I know that you guys, every client that comes in, you guys have your own goals. And typically that goal is, I want to lose weight. I want to get healthy up, and I understand that. But for us on our end, me, Christian, Sam, Josh, Briley, Valeria, and now Aaron, we know that there is more to that. We know that there's something deep down inside that there's we want to give you your life back. We want to give you your confidence back. We want to give you, that's what we want. And for you, saying that, that's why I do this. So thank you.
Thank you, Sal.
All right. Sorry. I didn't mean to get emotional. I'm a passionate person, as you guys know. So, but when I see these things, again, this is why I do what I do. And this is why it's so important to me. And I'll be honest with you. You shared that with me. I'm going to share this with you. One of the main reasons I do this is because my mom's in the same predicament. And she doesn't listen to me. Kids and parents, that's how hard that's not a working relationship, right? That's a family dynamic. But the fact that I can't help her, I find ways to feed that itch with you guys. Like that makes me feel better. At least I'm able to help somebody get to where they want to be. And maybe one day my mom will listen to me. Maybe one day my mom will take this on too, and I'll be able to help her. But in the meantime, you got me, I got you, we're working together. Andrea, thank you so much for this time, for this day, for making this happen. I'm grateful you fit me into your schedule because I knew that this was going to be a great one. And I hope everybody really pays attention to this podcast, everything that Andrea said, what she's gone through, her struggles, where she's at now. I'm telling you right now, we are different. We are a different gym. We're not, it's hard for us to even call ourselves a gym. We're a fitness facility. And what we do, we love, and we are passionate about it. So if you're anywhere near Monrovia or Rancho Cucamonga, come check us out. You need help. We are willing to help. We will do what we need to do to get you to where you want to be. That's what coaching is about. So with that, Andrea, again, have a blessed weekend. Have a great weekend. I'm going to see you on Tuesday. We got check-ins coming in 2 weeks, okay? So be ready to sit down with me, okay? Outside of that, guys, every platform, we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, leadtheway.com. Check us out. Everybody, lead the way. Have a good one, guys.